You're listening to the WCHE Morning Show on 95.3 WCHE.
And welcome back to the WCHE Morning Show. I'm Eric Lambera. Co-host today is Meredit, and joining us next on the phone to discuss her recent world record performance at the Lumberjack World Championships and much more, we have Meredit Ingbretson. Meredit, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm doing really good. So.
I apologize, Meredith. I didn't specify Eastern Standard Time. That's all my fault. It's not your fault. It's all my fault.
No,
I should have said.
I'm glad I checked my email. Otherwise, I would have been calling in another 40 minutes or so.
Well,
which is perfect.
Which is important because she has good taste. Because, like most women, she won't give me her phone number. So that was a plus. She's a smart woman. By the way, I loved your wedding pictures on your Instagram site. I was fascinated with them. You were a beautiful bride.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it was about 3 years ago now. So.
Well, he's a lucky man.
Yeah, we met through wood shopping. So.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. So Eric found this article on this Lumberjack Bowl on the shores of Lake Hayward. Where is Lake Hayward located in Wisconsin?
We're in the northwest corner of Wisconsin. We're about an hour south of Lake Superior in Duluth.
Oh, God. I've been to Duluth.
Nice area up in the heart of the lakes up here.
I've been to Duluth. It's cold. I was there. My wife is an import. She's one of you. She's from Minnesota. She grew up in the Twin Cities. And I got to tell you, you guys, all the Scandinavians up there, they came over from Sweden, like your family, I'm guessing. And then they start this milk thing because they must like ice cream or something. I don't even understand that. I guess it's warm compared to Sweden, but oh my God, it's cold up there.
Yeah, winters aren't always fun, but I play hockey, and so I spend most of my time in the rink, and then we were traveling around. So I wasn't outside a ton, but now I'm in my older years. I'm skiing and kind of walking outside in the winter, so Eric, it's enjoyable.
Eric, by the way, there'll be cross-country skiing. There's not a whole lot of mountains there in Wisconsin, I'm guessing.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, along with Lumberjack World Championships, Hayward is home to the largest ski race in North America, the American Birkebeiner. So really cool that we have two world-class events here right in our little town.
Wow, unbelievable.
There we go. Yeah, so Meredith, we saw you had set the record in the boom run, sprinting across 8 floating red cedar logs back in 13.78 seconds. And for listeners who never seen a boom run, have never heard of it, how would you describe it?
You see that picture? Look at that picture.
Mm-hmm. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I would say that it's just you were to cut like an 8-foot to 10-foot log down and have it on its side. There's 8 of those tied end to end. We start on one dock. We run down across all 8 logs. We go around a barrel, and then we run as fast as we can back across those logs. I don't know how else to describe it. They're spinning, they're rocking, they're bobbing, they're moving all which ways, and so just trying our best to stay on top, trying to make them move as little as possible.
What's the secret to that? You have to hit them dead nut center because anything off it'll start to roll, right?
Yeah, so trying to be kind of almost perfect. In my head, I usually count my steps. So each log, you can kind of gauge whether it's 3 steps or 2 steps. So the less steps that you take on it, the less likely it's going to roll on you for your next step. So the more steps you take, the more likely it's going to bob and react to your weight. The faster you can get off of the log and onto the next, the better you'll be. So trying to keep your feet forward, moving your arms, got them out for balance, and then kind of running like a sprint up on your toes. And not really letting that weight settle on the log. With
about a 3 to 3.5 foot stride, because it's 10-foot long, you said, right? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. What got you involved in that?
Here in Hayward, we're a logging community, and so that's kind of how Hayward became a town. They used to float the logs down the river into what is now Lumberjack Bowl as a holding pond. And then from there, the logs would go to the mill. Mm-hmm. And so growing up here in Hayward, it's just something you did. It was no different than going to play Little League in the summer or soccer. And so I was like, yeah, I would love to be in the water every day and when it's hot out instead of in the field. So I chose log rolling over baseball and soccer just because I enjoyed it. My sister was a big part of getting me involved in the sport. She was 6 years older than me, so she started at 9. I started at 3 years old. And so it's just kind of been rolling for 28 years now.
Wow.
So, Meredit, what is the training process for that?
Yeah, I do a lot of weightlifting. I'm in the gym 3 or 4 days a week in the mornings, doing all kinds of different weight exercises, and then a lot of rehab and prehab during the season. But then when it's during season, a lot of rehab, prehab in the gym, and then in the afternoons, I'll go and roll for an hour and a half and boom run for another half hour or so, with people, without people, and just kind of different size logs, different techniques, working on, for rolling, it's a lot of quick footwork, and then for booming, it's just getting that repetition of, the steps in your head and what feels good. Some days you're just on, and then some days you're just off. I know a few days before Lumberjack happened, I could not get my rhythm, and so I just kind of cut that one short. I did my best, but ended up in the drink a few times, and so I was like, well, that's not as encouraging as I'd hoped it'd be, but you have bad days, and then you go out there the next, and your body just kind of takes over and knows what to do, and so that's where that training comes in, and yeah, you just trust your body and trust your mind.
Now, Meredith, you set this, so this was in Hayward, and which is where you're based. What did it mean for you to set a world record in your hometown?
Yeah, it means a lot. I think I put so much time and effort into this event, not only competing, but I helped put on the event. My husband helps put up all the wood for the chopping and sawing side of the event. And so we're heavily involved across it. And a lot of people know me growing up here. And so it's just been really rewarding to be able to, post that time and just be here and have a community backing for it.
Now, I saw in the article, it said you had a horrible injury. What happened?
Yeah. In 2021, I was coaching track here, and we had a coaches relay, and I got put on the corner for our 4x1 coaches relay. So it's just a bunch of coaches from our team and other teams racing against each other. And I was running, and my foot felt funny, and so I looked down. I thought I had stepped on something, and it turns out I didn't. And I was like, maybe I broke my foot. I tore the ligaments that hold the first and second metatarsals to the midfoot, and so it's called a Liz Frank injury, and it's actually pretty awful. I'm lucky I can do the things I can, or I was able to do, and still compete at a high level. There was 21, was in a boot for 5 months, non-weight bearing. I had 3 screws in my foot. 5 months of not walking on my foot after being a super active person. It was a difficult adjustment, and pretty dark time, 2 years of recovery before I could actually wake up without pain.
Wow.
I still wake up with pain every now and then, but it's just, I don't have total range of motion in my right toe. Very fortunate to be able to compete at the level I do still. It took a lot of work, a lot of time spent in the gym and things like that, just doing recovery and activating those muscles again. But hopefully it holds up. It's not something I would wish upon my worst enemy. So.
Well, luckily you don't need a whole lot of range of motion in a big toe, right?
Well, you do.
Do you really?
You do to generate power and stuff like that.
That's true, because you're bending on that when you're pushing forward, right?
Yeah. So basically, my arch collapsed. So what I was feeling when my foot felt funny is that instead of my arch, I have super high arches, and so instead of that being rigid, the bones were just touching the ground, and the rest of my foot was still up. So it was like a dislocation more so, but I tore all the ligaments.
Wow.
So.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm just fortunate. I had a really good doctor. They got me into surgery within 36 hours, which the sooner you're in, the better the recovery. It just took a while to become fully recovered from it. So, I mean, I don't think I'll ever be fully recovered from it, but I would say right now it's as good as it's going to get. So, yeah.
Now, Meredith, you mentioned you'd been doing this for a little while. Have you noticed more women entering the sport since you started competing?
I think that's what's really unique about this sport is that I've always seen a ton of women competing, at least in the log rolling and boom running side. I would say since I was growing up, there's a couple ladies that are just namesakes on the other side of the dock. The other side is the chopping and sawing side.
The
Nancy
other side.
Zaleski, Cherie Taylor, Peg Engasser. Those are people that Nancy just saw the sport and started at 35 years old, and she's still competing today, and it's just somebody who a lot of women look up to, a great single buck sawyer, and a lot of the other women started because their husbands were in it and they were traveling around. But in the log rolling world, there's always been women log rolling, and I think that that's just a really cool thing. I don't think that there was ever like, well, you're a girl, you can't do this. It's always like, no, there's strong women competing in this, and, it can take you places across the country. It's just really cool, and it's just really unique. And I think that that is also something that brought me to it and kind of kept me here, is that there are so many women involved in this sport. It's growing still, especially on the chopping side. We're getting more countries wood chopping and sawing, myself included. I've made the step from just log rolling and boom running to now chopping, sawing, double buck, and things like that. So it's really cool to be a part of that and try and leave a legacy for young women and girls, to just say, yeah, we can do this, and show them that it really hasn't changed, but it is growing steady and slowly. So
you mentioned double buck and single buck. For us tenderfoots out here on the East Coast, Pennsylvania used to be a huge logging community. In fact, Theodore Roosevelt crossed through Pennsylvania and saw the decimation, because back in those days, it was the wild days. They just would wipe out mountains of trees and just leave it decimated. Yeah. And then the whole reclamation project started during World War II. They started really replanting and all that, because the loggers had come in and just wiped things out. And now it's a lot less damaging industry. And in fact, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, used to be one of the wealthiest cities in the world, and certainly in the United States. And then, like you were talking about floating the logs downstream, we had a flood one time, and all the logs came into Williamsport and flattened the town, and it never recovered from that. Yeah, just flattened. Look up the history of Williamsport. It has since recovered, because now they've discovered gas, and with our Marcellus Shale, it's now a very wealthy town again. It's made a lot of money back, but yeah, it destroyed the town. What gave it its wealth also took away all its wealth when the logs came through the town. But so you're talking about single buck and double buck. What is that in the sawing end? What exactly is that?
Yeah, so those are events where, so the single buck is a single person on a saw that is about anywhere from 5 foot 8 inches to 6 foot 3. It's all based on how tall the person is, how well they can pull the saw. That's kind of where your saw varies in length. But then you have a piece of wood that is set, horizontal, and then you're trying to cut off like a 1-inch disc as fast as you can.
And what's the diameter
so
of
you're
the
just pulling
what's the
that
diameter?
saw like a traditional saw.
What's the diameter of the log?
At Lumberjack World Championships, the women's wood is 16 inches, the men's wood is 20 inches, and then for all of the doubles events, it's all 20 inches. So whether it's Jill and Jill or double buck or Jack and Jill, it's all 20 inches in diameter. Wow. So then double buck or Jack and Jill, Jill and Jill, those doubles events, it's 2 people on a saw. Double buck is 2 men. Jack and Jill is a guy and a girl. And then Jill and Jill is 2 ladies. And the time? So, how long does it take the women or the men to do that, to cut through with a 1-inch disc? The Jack and Jill team won in 7.7 seconds. What? Yeah, it's crazy. It's so fast. Still got nothing on those guys. Oh, my God. Yeah. That's incredible. And then, like, the men who are chopping 14 inches of pine in the underhand and standing, they're doing it in just over 18 to 20 seconds. Wow. That's like the beaver competition. Right. That's incredible. That's incredible. This is all new stuff to me and Eric. This is why we're so fascinated with this. That's why I wanted to get you on the radio with us. Yeah, and so what's cool is actually this Wednesday, my husband and I and some of our other friends from Hayward we're actually headed to Pennsylvania. We're headed to Shellsburg, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's close or not. It's about 2 hours east of Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah, that's a different country. Okay. That's the other half. Got it. Yeah, and so we're actually there going to be at Camp Living Waters boys camp there, and we're going to have another show there. So it's a competition. We have competitions all across the country throughout the year. Lumberjack World Championships is one of the biggest events that we have, but there's also smaller shows like this one we're going to this week. So we'll be there Friday through Sunday, actually. So. Well, if you get a chance, you're going to be right there on Route 30, which was America's first paved highway. Actually, it was actually not paved; it was actually gravel, it was hard surface, and it was also, I think, the first actual turnpike. It was a toll road, and you're not going to be far from the Flight 93 National Memorial. You're not going to be far at all. You're only going to be like 5 or 6 miles. You should go see that. In 2023, we went there. My friend Kate and I went there. It was just, it was. I would recommend it to everybody. It was just. It's an emotional place. It was eerie and peaceful. Yeah, I don't know how to explain the sense that came over me when I was there, but it was moving. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a shame you're not going to be on our side, but we don't do a whole lot of tree chopping down here. Northeast Pennsylvania, get up Hazleton, up that area, a lot of trees. Down here, not so much anymore. Not so much. I was going to say, there's wood chops all over out there. You'd be surprised. You're probably closer than you think. I know that there's some wood chops. I don't get out that way much, but I know that there's definitely a few wood chops in New York and Pennsylvania and Ohio. I know it's vast country out there, and it's further away than it looks, that's for sure. There's no question about it. And now your competition, I saw that there were some imports. You had a man from Australia came in. You had somebody from, like the Czech Republic or something came in. Some woman was a champion, right? Yeah, we had 9 countries represented this year. I don't think I could name them all off the top of my head, but Italy, Ireland, Germany, the Czech Republic, Canada, U.S., Australia, Norway, and now I'm forgetting one. So a lot of trees in Norway on me, but it was really cool. We've had more and more competitors from across the world showing up. We've always had a big New Zealand and Australian presence, along with Canadian and American, and I would say the Czech Republic. But getting Germany, Norway, Italy, it's just showing how much our sport is growing, especially in Europe. And it's nice to see that those competitors are now, feeling confident enough and good enough to want to travel to the U.S. for the World Championships. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of time traveling. Our sport is so expensive that it's hard to make money if you're not winning. And so being the best gives you the best opportunity to travel and make those trips. So, yeah, if anybody's out there looking to sponsor athletes, lumberjacking is kind of a cool and fun way to do that. And so, I mean, we travel all across the world and all across the country. So,
wow, incredible.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you being on with us today. By the way, do you ever eat at Coop's Pizza?
I do every now and then.
Okay, I was just wondering because I see it on the map here. It's marked Hayward. Coop's Pizza's marked on the map. So
I would say our other claim to fame is our 3-story muskie. It's about 120 feet long and 3 stories tall.
A muskellunge?
Yeah, the muskellunge. So our Hayward is the muskie capital of the world.
I had no idea. That's like the big fish down here in Chester County. We have them in Marsh Creek Lake, and some of those, I mean, I've seen them 5 and 6 feet out of that lake, and I thought that was incredible. That's 30 feet of ugly fish, man. That thing's got more teeth than a little bit.
It's a big museum piece. So, like, you go in it, you walk up it, you can overlook Lake Hayward and where all the big fish have been caught. So,
that's
part of
amazing.
the National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame.
That's a hell of a fish to catch, too, man, that muskellunge. It really is. Don't put your hand in it when you're going for the hook. You'll regret it.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. This is great. I mean, anything to get our sport out into the public eye, I think is great. It's so unique that it's really cool. You might see that like local, like state fairs or county fairs and things like that. Those are shows, and we also do big competitions where we're competing for money and things like that. So a good way to just share and spread the word, get people out and involved in it. So.
And where can people find it? Website? Do you have a website or something that people can find out more about it?
Yeah, LumberjackWorldChampionships.com is a great place for that. Let me check the other one. There's one of the athletes from Quebec has been big into creating one for athletes and getting people to know more. So 1 second. Yeah, it's called Lumberjack and Jill. So Lumberjack and then the letter N and Jill.com. And that kind of shows you all the places where competitions are going to be held. So really, really cool, whether it's America, Canada, Midwest, Northwest,
New Zealand,
South, East. Yeah. And not too many of the New Zealand and Australia shows, but definitely Canada and U.S., West Coast, East Coast, Midwest regions. There's a competition almost every weekend. So.
Well, that's cool. Hey, we're coming up on a hard break. We got to let you go. But thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your week.
You got it. You too. Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll see you.
Bye.